Jack has a life-limiting metabolic condition called mucolipidosis type 2, and it affects the way his cells work. It affects the whole of his body. So he has limited movement, limited development, and he's tube fed. But he is a wonderful, happy boy. And he's our pride and joy, isn't he?
Unfortunately, when we were told of Jack's condition, they initially said that it was unlikely he would get to school age. And then 3 days later they said that a couple of years was the best case scenario that we'd get with Jack. So it was obviously devastating at the time.
All we had was a very bleak outlook, basically, that he was going to deteriorate and die.
At that time, I couldn't see a future. I felt that maybe if Jack was to have a shorter life than a longer life would be our preference, or my preference. And that was to change in the coming days. Mm-hmm. It literally changed over a few days when we were introduced to anticipatory care plans.
All that we knew was that we wanted Jack to be as comfortable and as happy as possible during his short life. And I remembered a talk that I'd been to at work that by a Diana nurse, and they nurses who specialise in palliative care. And so she came to see us only a few days after Jack's diagnosis, and it quickly turned from being a very bleak picture to this nurse, Fiona, helping us to plan and think about, it's going to be a short life, but what would you like to achieve in Jack's life and what we would like Jack to achieve.
Yeah, some of the stuff that a parent can do blew my mind. It was mentioned that if you were told that Jack had hours to live, we could pick Jack up and take him home. And that was something that I just didn't think was possible. So it certainly became an option to us, and that was the type of thing that we discussed with the ACP.
Discussing and finding out about all the things that can be done when Jack's life ends. It's really good to know that we will then get a chance to say goodbye, get a chance to cuddle him, read him a story. Just knowing all this is comforting. In the bleakest scenario that we could have been given, we managed to find some comfort.
I think sometimes families are quite apprehensive about starting work on an ACP, having to think about that point coming at some point in the future of their child or young person dying. But what I found is that with this document, conversations are opened up. During the course of those conversations, we can begin to put something down on paper which will be helpful in the future.
Anticipatory care planning has allowed Jack's parents to have those discussions and make those decisions that affect Jack's future and the reality of Jack's future. And ACP also incorporates wishes for life and what the family want to achieve during their child's life. And having put these decisions down on paper, they can now go on with living their life.
The first two things we said when we started the ACP was to climb Benahee and go swimming. And you had one as well.
Yeah, and I wanted Jack to come to Anticipatory Stadium just to see where his dad disappeared to on a Saturday.
And then just yesterday I was saying that swimming is the one thing in our plan we haven't been able to do because it's too risky for bugs. And the girls here at Rachel House are going to organise it. We're going to take a day trip and let Jack go swimming. And if it hadn't been for the ACP we wouldn't have thought about doing all of these things because we just thought Jack's life would be really limited, and it made us see the positive side of his life.
I instantly thought that Jack was dying, but after that first few days, Jack was living. Jack had a lot of living to do yet, and he still has a lot of living to do because he's doing so well. But it just flipped over very quickly, and it's been such a huge benefit for us.
I think to do it is difficult, but wonderful and rewarding at coming out the other side of it.